Yo, 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 what up, y'all? Moses Jack here, and y'all are tuning in on Echoed Histories. Before we get started on the video, I'd like to personally again thank you guys for tuning in and thank Mr. Charlie Brown, Glathba, for accepting the special first episode. Um, this episode we covered a lot of topics, and I guess I could just cover a couple of the topics that we talked about during this episode. We talked about the journey of an emerging artist, Mr. Charlie Brown, learning from the past, Celtic history, reconnecting with the culture and identity, balancing fatherhood and artistic pursuits, exploring rock paintings and historical significance, bringing visions to life, the importance of self care, commitment to personal growth, the value of traveling, experiencing different cultures, reflections on past, memorable experiences in Thailand, adapting to the city life, and of course, we got to add a little bit of basketball, the love of basketball. Again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in, and yeah, I hope y'all enjoy. Let's get it going.
Yeah.
What up, y'all? My name is Moses Jack, and you are listening on Echoed Histories. I'm the creator, founder, artist. I want to start off by thanking everybody for tuning in from wherever you are, and to acknowledge we're on Celtic territory, Bella Bella, homelands.
Yeah.
Special guest tonight, first episode, Glathba Charlie Brown. Would you
Yeah.
like to introduce yourself, Charlie?
Word. Yeah, my name is Glathba Charlie Brown. I'm an emerging Celtic artist. Just started my journey not too long ago in art and created my passion through a long life of culture with my parents when I was young and continued through archaeology with my uncle,
Oh
Elroy,
yeah.
Chief Gehetesu. And I did studied the art in the territory for a number of years with him. And just recently, 2 years ago in 2023, in November, I was able to start art class with Larry Campbell in the men's wellness program here in Bella Bella. So I'm
Shout
grateful to
out
be,
Larry.
yeah, shout out to Larry Campbell. I'm grateful to be where I am. Learned lots with my partner, Casey Hall. Shout out to him.
Shout out Casey.
And yeah, just working on my skills and doing what I can to keep that going in my own
Hell
way.
yeah. Man, I like that name, Glathba. What does it mean?
It means like when a killer whale surfaces for air, Glathba.
Oh, yo, that's actually sick.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah,
I love killer whales.
yeah, man.
I love killer whales, yeah. Damn, that's actually really cool. How long have you been drawing now? Or doing artwork in
Coming
general?
up on 2 years in this November.
Yeah?
But I started briefly with Casey before that, sketching some stuff. But I really started to learn very little that I know currently
Mm-hmm.
on Formline, and yeah, I'm just grateful to be crossing some paths where I could hone in on my skills a little better, and just see wherever this road takes me
Hell yeah.
with Formline. Yeah,
Fuck yeah. Your artwork is so clean. I'll
that's it.
attach some pictures in the video when I edit it, but just like your artwork's different, man. So nice, so clean. Really inspired by you. See, you got your own little new hoodie here. Is that your
Yeah,
work?
yeah. Just I really enjoy designing clothing. It's one of my other passions, and
Okay.
yeah, I thought it was cool to just give people an opportunity to wear my art. And yeah, so just
Nice.
another way I could kind of design and do something I really enjoy.
Hell yeah. When you first started getting into artwork, how was it trying to balance it between doing art day to day, and your every other day life? Like, how is
Yeah.
it? How do you balance your life and your artwork? Because I
Uh,
know it is pretty time consuming.
yeah, I think it was it was almost an easy transition for me because I was always driven by culture. I
Hmm.
just kind of luckily found my path into it. I was surrounded by a lot of my friends who are really good artists, and
Hmm.
it just allowed me to kind of soak it all in when I was there. And yeah, so I guess being able to study all these art forms through repatriation with Central Coast archaeology
Right, right.
allowed me to fall in love with the art form even more, even though I didn't really understand how complex it was or how many things you kind of got to follow and different ways you can put the forms together, which I'm slowly starting to learn in different form line classes. And
Hmm.
just by asking all my friends questions about how they do things or you know, I would always send Casey a photo of something I would draw, and he would he would reply to me with a photo where he would draw with a red line over
Okay.
where I'm where I could do something different. So shout out to him for really
No, that's.
guiding me through that journey of trying to learn, which I think I'll be forever learning. But he
Hmm.
really helped me to get where I am today. So man, just such a uh, really good mentor and
Heck yeah.
really easy to ask questions. And he would always get back to me when he had the time. So yeah,
Sounds like it. Lucky guy, man.
yeah,
I love Casey's work.
yeah,
It's
for sure.
different. Yeah, I think learning about the how was it for you when you started working with Uncle Elroy, Central
Ah,
Coast Archaeology?
it was it was it was a real blessing because I was able to kind of learn about the history of Helsinki and
Yeah.
who we are um, through work. And I
Yeah.
was on the boat all the time, visiting all these old village sites,
Hmm.
fish traps, clam gardens, rock paintings, and burials, and like all these different things that I think kind of just connected me truly with who I am and the extent of how our people thrived in different areas and seasonal villages. And um, man, just thinking about how strong and tough they were to live back in the day,
No, for
considering
real.
going everywhere on canoe and harvesting all the food that was near them. And yeah, everything was based on weather. You couldn't just travel anywhere on a real
Right,
windy day in your
right.
canoe. So definitely had to understand the weather system on top of whatever else, what time of year you're getting certain foods, and then
Yeah.
figuring out how to preserve that for the winter because they were obviously cold and wet here. So really cool thing to just kind of think about
Yeah, no, of
living in the
course.
past and being right here on this coast that's a very kind of wet place in the fall and the winter.
Yeah. It's just like today. This past week, I think, has been
Yeah,
so rainy. And then all of a sudden, we're going to get like the ray of sunshine all of next week.
yeah.
I'm excited.
Salmon berries are coming.
So quick. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah. Damn. So working with Uncle Elroy is just, do you think it's definitely helped you get into the art, being an artist, I guess?
Yeah, it was. I think a huge part of getting me to study the details in form line
Yeah.
when I was working on repatriation and working
Okay.
on getting stuff back from museums,
Right.
which we recently have attained a few items, and being able to study the details, like I said, helped me see it on paper a little easier.
Mm,
So yeah, I couldn't believe maybe the details they were putting in with the minimal tools they had back in the day, which really drove me to kind of
oh man.
want to think of that process. And now that I'm painting and doing a bit of carving, I understand the extent of time and skill it takes to make something symmetrical or
Yeah.
visually look appealing,
Yeah.
and to actually take your time to make something really nice is it's quite the process, but a beautiful one. And I'm just grateful to be on this journey, man.
No, for real. Just thinking about the past, like looking at pictures of the big houses that they had back in the day, like everything was so symmetrical.
Yeah, man. And just like a plank tree,
Yeah.
like going and literally planking a tree and measuring the length and just being able to visually see that before you cut it down,
Excuse my language.
and then taking it back to the village and utilizing it in that way, or
Mm-hmm.
being able to adds it down to a certain thickness and make a box,
Oh
or
my
whatever,
god.
using the bark to weave baskets. And
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's just so cool to think about that history and the way we survived around here on the
Yeah.
coast.
I think
Similar ways.
yeah, I think like most of the coast used the cedar and their everyday living, right? So like cedar clothing,
Yeah,
cedar boxes, cedar weapons. Can only imagine what they used back in the day.
yeah, different stones and
Mm-hmm.
bones. And uh, yeah, it's definitely cool. I always wish I had like a time machine, or I can travel back in time to like witness some old potlatch or
Ah,
somebody
no, for
carving, or
real.
um, anything like that. But all we could do is try to revive that in ways we can. And it's
Mm-hmm.
great that we have cultural leaders today that can kind of guide us in that right direction. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no, definitely. What would you wear if you went back in time to
I don't know. I
check out
guess
the
whatever was
artists?
made by whoever was weaving.
Right.
Yeah, it's such a, I guess, whatever my job would be for the community is. It's cool to think about that. Like, we didn't have so much technology back then. Life was probably a bit more simple.
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine maybe you were just groomed into doing something for your village, and that was kind of your job through life. And
Right.
but yeah, yeah, I don't know. I guess whatever clothes was made in that village by whoever was weaving, I guess I would have to say that's what I would be rocking.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Actually, I can't even picture what it was like because I remember like reading some stories of how it was back in the day. Everybody had a role. Everybody was doing something, and like today, it's just different.
Yeah,
In some ways, some ways it's still the same, but like back then, nobody complained. You know what I mean?
yeah. You just had to do your do what you can during the day,
Doing your
depending on the
part.
weather. I guess if you're stuck,
Mm-hmm.
or you couldn't really go anywhere, then you're just trying to mainly get through a rough day, and
Yeah.
you're back harvesting on the days where it was free, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
But I can only think about what it would be like, because I can't really understand or know exactly how rough days would be compared to nice days, and where they would go or how far they would travel,
Mm-hmm.
and what times a year they would move. I can only imagine based on when the
Season.
herring are here, when the seaweed
Yeah.
is here, when the fish show up, when the berries are here, when the clams are able to dig.
Yeah.
There's just so much to it, and um, the diversity of living on the outer ocean, where you're able to get sea mammals, or
Mm-hmm.
all these different things, and then moving to the inside, closer to the mountains, where there's all these fish bearing rivers, and
Yeah.
you're using fish traps to get a lot of food in the summer, but also those inlets would freeze over, so people would have to move from the inside to the mouth of the inlet. And
Right.
so it was more like seasonal villages, I from what I learned. But it's just so cool to think about how our people lived back then. And right now, currently in Bella Bella, we're kind of just far enough away from the mountains where the snow doesn't really stick, and we're
Yeah.
just far enough away from the open ocean where we don't get always hit by that really nasty weather. So I
Yeah.
think it's a great spot where we
Oh,
ended
definitely.
up currently.
Definitely good spot. Yeah, no. When I first came up here, I heard there was so many surrounding old village sites, and I used to wonder why. And I think it was Uncle Howard told me that they were seasonal village sites. So like I always hear it when herring comes. That's when the new year starts for Bella Bella, like a Bella Bella New Year. Is
Yeah,
that right?
Baltic New Year. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like it only makes sense because everything starts to kind of come around again
come around again.
after the cold winter, you know.
Yeah,
So I guess yeah, it kind
that's
of
such a cool. I've never heard that before. I've heard of OBA,
yeah,
New Moon.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's what it is.
yeah. I
Yeah.
guess it kind of maybe means a similar thing where
Mm-hmm.
everything kind of starts showing up and we're moving into spring and then summer and you're able to just come out of that cold dark winter.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, getting back to the villages, like I was so amazed when I heard that there was old village sites around here. I don't know much about where I'm from, like around the house but here, like being able to see a couple of them, like old house posts or literally old village sites, was just something else, different. Yeah, can't even imagine what it was like growing up here.
Yeah, definitely cool to kind of make that connection when you're out there and
Mm-hmm.
when you see like the house posts of the village still kind of standing. Like there's no real house frame still standing, but you can notice that the posts were set in the right spot.
Yeah.
And so that's cool. And just kind of making that connection. If you're kind of from the area or you have
Mm-hmm.
family ties to there, then, you could just kind of feel that sense of connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Did you grow up in Bella?
Yeah, I spent a lot of my younger life here, and until the end of grade 10, and then
Nice.
I moved to Vancouver for my grade 11 and 12 year. Played a little basketball and
Okay.
lived with my homie Nate, and yeah, but it's good to be back here. Like,
Yeah.
there's no place like home, and that
No, for
really,
sure.
yeah, it's really helped me heal in certain ways. Just kind of reconnecting with my culture here, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's great to be where I am right now.
No other place to do it but home.
Yeah,
That's dope. How are you? What other ways are you reconnecting with the culture that you can
just
think of?
every day trying to live it. Singing
Yeah.
at home. I have a drum. I try to
Okay.
bang out some songs on that. Yeah, carving, painting, drawing,
Nice.
being on different projects of designing.
Mm.
Um, you know, it's kind of led me into a wide area of being able to just create logos for people or
Right.
design tattoos and then design regalia and design
Heck
clothing
yeah.
like what I have. And yeah, I think just doing my best to live and breathe the culture every day is really helping me move towards my main goal. And that's really just to be able to see some of my artwork in the big
Mm.
house and help my families or my people out in general.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at in this art journey currently.
Nice. Heck
Yeah,
yeah. I know you're, what do you call it, new father in the
yeah.
world. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Shout out to Lil Marley.
Shout out to Marley, man.
Oh man, he's
Made
so
my life
cute.
so much better. And another huge reason why I'm, connecting to my culture so I could teach him all about that and
Mm,
give him that sense of where he's connected to as well, because it's what really helped me.
definitely.
Um, so yeah, it's a great part of my life.
Heck yeah. How has it been trying to balance everything out, being a new father and everything?
It's good, man. It
Yeah,
it
that's good.
doing art kind of allows me to be at home a little more. So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I guess just trying to figure out the best ways to balance the work and being a father and being present and
Yeah, yeah.
getting outside or doing what I got to do to take care of myself in the meantime is the most important thing. So
Heck
if I
yeah.
could be present for him when he needs it.
Yeah. That's good, man. I like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I really like that. You'd be a real good daddy, man.
thank you.
It's exciting to watch him grow, exciting to watch you grow as a person, as an
Yeah.
artist, everything. So cool. Um, mm, so many other topics to talk about. Is there anyone that you want to talk about in general?
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, I don't know if we're going back into some history.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so cool to think about, you know, connecting to different things like rock paintings or rock
Oh
carvings.
yes.
Some of our oldest ways of maybe our people marking our territory,
Oh
and we don't
man.
really know the ages of those.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I like to just think about how it was for some dude to like mix that paint and then climb up to these really cool surfaces strategically somewhere that wasn't going to get weathered.
Yeah.
So like on an overhanging rock face that wouldn't really get wet and just kind of mark their territory in a certain way. And were they
Mm-hmm.
directed by somebody like a chief or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
What were those rock paintings connected to? And it's just cool
Intentions.
to
Yeah.
think of different theories and think of the ways that they were putting those paintings up, or the amount of time it would take to carve a little rock carving
Yeah.
out, and
Oh, that's something
the
else.
technique, and it blows my mind, and it's really cool to kind of think about stuff like that. So yeah, if we're thinking about history, that's kind of where I would want to go as far as our people in the
Mm.
past, and you know, all those different things like a fish trap um, down by the mouth of the river, like the chum
Yeah.
and the pink would naturally circle in the shallow area near the mouth of a river, and our
Yeah.
people would just build these nice big rock walls in that area so
Right.
that when the tide dropped, they were
It's
able
all
to just take the
trapped.
fish they need.
That's
And it was just
crazy.
right there, and then they just let go of what they don't need.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess work smarter, not harder, and it's just there's it's crazy to
That's
think
crazy.
that they were just so adaptive to their surroundings
Mm-hmm.
that they easily survive, or no, I wouldn't say easily, but they were able to survive in such a like
Creative.
the middle of
So
in the middle of a
creative.
rainforest as well. So
It's
I think
just
the food and everything was a lot more abundant back in the day, but it
yeah.
doesn't mean necessarily that it was easy. And
Oh, definitely.
but yeah, just really cool to
Yeah,
think about
the
that.
fish is that the one out of koi or what is it called?
Kansu.
Kansu, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's one there, and there's a lot in many other
Oh,
places.
I can only imagine. The one in Kansu though, that one blew me away when I think we went there during the morning and I think it was low tide. And we just seen the whole wall go all the way around the beach. And I was like, what is that?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
just
super
learning
cool.
about it, hearing about back in the day, they were strategically so smart to think of trapping the fish in there, right?
Yeah, man,
It's just
super cool and
nuts.
simple technology to easily get what they needed. Like
Mm,
the table was set right there. Yeah,
that's crazy. I want to get back to the rock paintings though, because oh my gosh, some of those rock paintings are so high
yeah.
and they're like so steep that you know that's
Interesting to think of how they were able to get into that certain area, maybe
yeah.
walking on a really small ledge. I don't know. I want to say rappelling from a cedar rope, but probably not that. It's there had to be some kind of way. Um, but yeah, man, just truly interesting. And if people get to actually take a ride here in Celtic territory and see some of the places they were in, or anywhere where there's rock paintings on this coast, I imagine they're just in different areas and heights, and
Yeah.
it's uh, it's just a really cool way of keep marking their territory, I guess, and showing that we were here.
Yeah. So you actually hiked up there, was it a few summers ago?
Yeah, hiked up to
One of the rock paintings. Is it out in Roscoe?
I hiked up to Roscoe. I hiked in Port John. There's a
Oh,
really
okay.
really nice view
Yeah.
points in different areas,
Oh, is
and
that where you can like see the whole bay?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's in Port John.
I'll see
Yeah,
if I can include the picture,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that'd be sick for other people to see and kind of get an idea of how high these rock paintings are.
yeah. That one, I guess, is quite the hike. Like maybe a 20-minute hike up
Yeah.
a steep little area, but yeah, really interesting kind of forms in those rock paintings too
Mm-hmm.
that make you think. And just below it is one of our biggest walls of rock paintings, a large number of them with different kind of variations of rock painting. So it's really cool, and there's lots to learn there. And I really enjoy going back and kind of trying to soak in the styles of art that they use so simply, but kind of are able to show you what they're trying
Yeah.
to depict, I guess, or um, visually draw for whoever was gonna see it in the future, or whatever their
Yeah.
goal was for marking that big wall, I guess.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Yeah,
Like insane. Man. Episode 1. This is crazy.
yeah,
I think,
good to be here.
yeah, thank you again. Like, I can't believe this is actually gonna go on live and stream all over, hopefully all over the world, reach
Yeah,
other listeners. Um, yeah, the whole idea behind the podcast for me started during COVID, actually.
okay,
And I wanted to kind of reach out. It was such a time when everybody was home, right?
yeah,
So I can only imagine how many people got in, like, deep into their head, like overthinking and kind of going into a little bit of a depressed state being at home all the time.
yeah.
So I wanted to reach out and see if anybody would be interested doing like Zoom calls or just kind of getting their mind away from thinking about being home all the time.
Yeah, I guess podcasts were kind of a big thing
Yeah.
around that time, where it kind of became this, um, way of connecting
Yeah.
with people through conversation and being able to watch and learn
Mm-hmm.
different things. And yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for you to, like you say, just uh, travel and connect and learn
Mm-hmm.
about different histories of Indigenous people all over this world. And
Yeah.
even though I know very little about the history of the Celtic, I'm happy to just share briefly what I know and have a
Mm-hmm.
conversation. And just proud of you for kind of pushing forward with your goal. And
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm excited to listen to your next episodes and kind of get to learn a bit about the history of other people and
Mm-hmm.
their nations and how they learned and how they carry themselves and what drives them to be who they are, because people need to hear that.
Yeah.
And I think really connecting with your roots like I said, is a strong sense of your identity.
Mm-hmm.
And
Big time.
it's good to know where you're from.
Definitely. I think another one of the big reasons was for myself to kind of get an idea of where my history comes from. I had a little bit of identity crisis myself growing up, and
Mm.
but I don't want to talk too much about that. But yeah, I think getting more and more people to understand that other cultures kind of have similar, what is it, upbringings and traditional values and teachings behind what it was like to grow up on a reserve or what it was like to grow up anywhere. not just a reserve. Um, my goal is to make it around the world. I think it would be so cool to go to, like, man, I don't even know, just anywhere.
Yeah, I guess any indigenous community and learning about how their people survived in their area and what they did
Mm-hmm.
culturally that kind of held them together, maybe as a society, the way our culture did. I think it's such a, I feel like it's such a serious thing,
Mm-hmm.
our ceremonies and um, the way they're practiced. And back in the day, it was a lot more strict. And
Oh yeah, of course,
um, it's
definitely.
just cool to think about that and how we believed in like supernatural beings and there's creation stories and all that
Mm-hmm.
you know um, that we learn from elders and knowledge keepers. So I'm grateful to slowly be learning more about the history of the Celtic, and maybe in further conversations I'll be able to share a little more as I
Yeah, of
dive
course.
deep into the culture, and hopefully I'm able to study a lot more and um, yeah, just maybe put that into my art and carvings and connect with the chiefs and artists
Yeah,
and just really learn the style of the Celtic, which is my main goal.
heck yeah,
Yeah,
true Celtic man here.
yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, man, I'm so excited to just be able to watch you grow, be a part of your journey a little bit.
yeah,
You're trying to get me back into being an artist as well, and appreciate it, and little challenges here and there that you offer up, and excited and thankful. Thankful
yeah,
to know you as an uncle.
yeah.
Super dope.
It's good. Always good to connect with different people who can push you in positive ways.
Oh,
And
definitely.
yeah, that's what Casey always does for me. Is just kind of challenges me to think outside the box or draw different things that I maybe never drew yet, and
Mm-hmm.
pushes me um, kind of away from some of the fundamentals, or trying to widen my vision of how I draw. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
really grateful for those little challenges,
Yeah,
and
me
just
too.
being able to try to bring those visions to life in different ways, whether it's on the iPad or using the pencil and trying to use more color in my
Mm-hmm.
art, or um, and then being able to study a little bit of the history allows me to, I think, try to draw things in a different way. Like,
Yeah.
and I see everything differently now when I read a story or I try to connect
Nice.
something, or somebody asks me to draw something. I instantly try to visualize what I would draw.
Oh
Sometimes I got to
man,
draw it out right away. So it's really cool. And yeah, I don't know. It's
that's really
definitely
cool.
it's a good feeling when you can bring a vision fully to life and
Yeah.
complete it, and someone's going to be wearing it on their regalia, or a
Mm-hmm.
chief's going to hang it as their backdrop, or somebody gets a tattoo, or you see your design on a logo that's used on invoices,
Yeah.
or on t-shirts and everything. It's just, I never thought in my life I would be drawing stuff like that, and
Yeah.
here I am. So I'm just grateful that people enjoy what I draw, and when they tell me a vision and I'm able to help them bring that to life in their with their direction, is no better feeling. So
Heck
yeah,
yeah, I can only imagine. That's so cool, man. Oh man. Let's see where we at. We are at half an hour, 30 minutes. How you feeling?
I'm good, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
feeling
chilling.
good. Chilling. How do you feel about, like, being fit? How is you've you still being able to fit that into your daily schedule?
Yeah, I guess. Well, you got to take care of yourself, man.
Yeah,
No one else can really do that for you.
definitely.
Um, yeah, I guess it's just really all about making time to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody ever regrets doing something for themselves. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I've really been just trying to make time to get out and run, or um, even just
Reconnect.
going for a walk with my
Yeah.
dogs could change my whole day because I'm able to reflect or
Yes.
think about different things if I'm just staying busy or at home. I'm normally in my head, and
Mm.
so it's good to kind of get out and just clear the mind a little.
That's
And
good.
I think most importantly, just taking care of yourself is a huge part of helping you enjoy
Oh, of
life a little
course.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only
So
reason why I asked is we have a little challenge going on at the Core 45.
yeah, man.
I think I took like a couple day break during our travel, but yeah, I gotta get back into it though. I think it's been like what 3 weeks now, 3.5 weeks.
Yeah. I'm definitely. I'm a lot busier than I expected,
Yeah.
painting a bunch of cedar
Oh
boxes.
yeah, of course.
But yeah, just finding that time to commit to yourself, I think, is huge. And in the big picture, I think 45 days of commitment is probably not that much.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a lot easier said than done, though, for
Mm-hmm.
most people. And yeah, I hope when after this big project I'm a part of, I could actually commit to myself and just become the best version of myself, I guess,
Heck
and
yeah.
see what committing 45 days to myself and my mental health and physical health would be like.
Yeah.
So it's all about creating those good habits because we're all so easy as humans to kind
Definitely.
of fall into this, I don't know, easy way of life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Staying home, going on
yeah,
your
yeah.
phone,
It's just,
munching out.
yeah,
That's all life though. Yeah,
it sure
it's
is, yeah.
definitely how you look at it and how you wanna approach it and just live. That's pretty cool.
So much to see, though, in this big world, and I think it's important to chase things that you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
You want to travel and save up some money and fly out of this country.
Yeah.
It's all doable. Um,
Definitely.
you know what I mean? It takes a little bit of work, but um, everything is attainable. It's just how hard are you willing to work for it, and if you're not, then I guess you can expect the same results that you're always getting. Plain and simple.
Yeah, no, for real. I think, yeah, definitely traveling and just getting out there and stop procrastinating. I think the biggest part for that is people having trouble with getting their passports done.
Yeah, I
And
mean, like it's not a real tough thing to do. You go get your photo done, you fill it a couple of pages, send it out. You got a passport in 2 months.
yeah,
I just got it from my son. I just helped my friend get one.
nice.
So it's it it's not like you can't just drag someone to go and do it. Just like anything in life,
Yes,
you just got if you want it, you gotta go get it.
gotta get it.
Um, no one could do anything for you, like I said, and yeah, it's just really that simple.
Literally.
It's
I,
life's what you make it, man. So
yeah, once you get your passport, you just want to keep traveling.
definitely, it's like a travel bug. Most people would get it,
Yeah.
traveling out of the country, that unexpected feeling when you're flying over a
Mm.
different piece of this world and you're wondering what it's going to be like, what kind of food you're going to eat, what kind of
Oh,
how the
man.
culture is going to feel, is it humid or not, and
Oh, my God.
just every bit of difference that you feel in that sense of being somewhere else and uh, immersed in someone else's culture.
Yeah.
And like I said, I love food, and just being able to try things in different areas is it's amazing, and it helps you grow. And I think traveling shows you a lot of what you're capable of,
Mm-hmm.
and how maybe small your problems are compared to some places in this world, and
Definitely.
maybe helps you appreciate life a little more. So, highly recommend traveling.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
I think that little bit of high you get when you're flying over literally cities and away from your home, and it's just such a different feeling. I've only been to LA, California. I think I've made it as far as San Diego when I was younger, but for those of you that don't know me, me and my wife made it to Disneyland 3 times within 12 months. And yeah, the feeling of being somewhere that's like hot every single day and food is always cooking. Somebody's always cooking every single day. The food in the States is so different and I love it. But I'm so excited to be able to start this podcast, reach out to more areas of the world and
Yeah,
experience new food, new culture, new environment.
it's all about doing what makes you happy.
Yeah, definitely. Highly recommend everybody to get their passport. Stop thinking about it, stop talking about it, just do it.
Yeah,
Cuz you're going to regret it down the line. Like I wish I had it sooner, but if I did that, I probably would have been broke traveling every day, traveling every year. I mean, like, but yeah, now that I have it, I want to keep traveling. I want to go places. I think one of the main places I want to explore is Japan, New Zealand, and Paris.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to Japan on July 26th.
Mm.
Super excited about that, and yeah, connecting with the Ainu people there
Mm-hmm.
in northern Japan. And I went there once when I was 12 um,
Nice.
on a cultural exchange with them as well. So it'll be another experience to kind of show up there as an adult and
Yeah.
maybe see everything in a different way. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, and
Heck
just
yeah.
grateful for the opportunity to travel and
It's dope.
you know um, just experience more of this world.
Mm-hmm. It's one place where you'd go.
Uh, I don't know. Like, I think I would probably go to like Tibet or New
Yeah.
Zealand. Yeah, just somewhere, or like the Amazon, or
Mm-hmm.
just somewhere safari. I don't know. I like nature kind of, and um, yeah,
Where have you been so
connecting
far?
with indigenous people maybe in different
Yeah.
areas would be really cool.
Yeah. Where have you been so far around the world?
Japan,
Yeah.
Thailand, United States, a few places.
Nice.
Yeah, spent 34 days in Thailand in I think
Oh my
2017.
gosh.
That was really cool to kind of adapt to their time, like
I can't even
adapting to
imagine.
jet lag and the spicy food that they eat, and
Oh
being in.
man.
I spent a numerous like amount of days, maybe like I want to say like 18 to 20 days in the north, away from
Yeah.
the ocean. I
Okay.
went to I went to Bangkok for maybe like 6 days, and then I moved to Chiang Mai, and then I
Dang.
went even farther north to this place called Pai, which is a small community, and then I finally flew down to the south, and which made me realize how much I missed the ocean, and it's just an emotional time to just see the
Yeah.
water again and realize how far I was away from home. But
I bet.
it's so cool. I while I was there, I made a commitment to kind of jog every other day down a random different street and just
Nice.
get to see a different part of the city. And I
Yeah.
found all these different cool things. And
Heck yeah.
yeah, I continue to do that on my traveling now. And it's just a
It's
good
good.
way to kind of see the city in a different way and maybe grab a nice cold drink on the way home.
Nice.
Um, so, yeah,
Nice. Oh man, I can't even imagine. Thailand. It's definitely on the bucket list.
yeah, it was a long journey, but a good one I'll never forget.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet. What was your highlight of that trip? It's probably lots,
Hmm.
but if you can think of just a couple or even just one.
Yeah, I was in Chiang Mai, and I hiked up this old monk trail.
What?
It's about a 45-minute hike, and we followed uh, this orange monk clothing that was tied around these trees all the way up this trail.
Oh
And we
shit.
got to this temple in the middle of a mountain in the forest. And um, I think it was just really cool because you could see a view of the city
Yeah.
from there. And like I went to meditate for 20 minutes in this little um, like kind of hut area or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't even notice the whole time that there's this monk kind of meditating the whole time quietly over to my
Oh
left.
no way.
And when I left the building after I sat there for 20 minutes, I
Yeah.
like peeked in. I was like, oh, there's a guy there. And he was like sitting so peacefully,
Mm-hmm.
and he was so still, but his face looked like he had this smile, like he was just like really internally really happy. I was just like, wow, this guy is just like so mentally free. And
Yeah.
I guess it was just a cool way to see someone who actually dedicated their life to maybe meditation and
Oh
being a monk,
yeah.
actually how that feeling is, even just by looking at him, kind of translated into my mind. I was just like, wow, I respect
Oh
that a
man.
lot. So I think that was my greatest experience, just hiking through this, because I did a lot of work in the woods with my uncle, like I said, and
Right.
hiking through this different forest and getting into this
Oh,
higher elevation where the trees changed, and
such a different
there's these
environment.
cool uh, kind of little signs that would explain where I was in different parts.
Yeah.
Most people would take a tour bus up to the very top of this mountain, but there is a temple in the middle that I found on Google in
Okay.
Chiang Mai, and you could just hike that trail, and it was like 45 minutes of hiking, but super cool, and all these bugs are like echoing, and
Whoa.
yeah, just quite the experience. I would
Damn.
recommend anyone who goes to Chiang Mai to look for that hike on the Monk's Trail there. But
I'm gonna
yeah,
put that on my bucket list now. I can't even imagine how the energy was like calm and peaceful in that area was.
yeah,
Like that's our everyday life. Like
yeah, it really is living
just different. I don't know. I don't think I could be a monk. I talk too much.
it. Yeah, it's a different way of living, I guess, and can spend a lot of hours trying to get to know yourself. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I don't know. I,
Do you think you could do it?
I don't have any goals to do that.
Yeah.
I think I have too many other things I want to do,
Mm.
like art and carve. So, my goals are set elsewhere. But hats off to anyone who wants to be at peace with their mind
Oh,
in that
definitely.
way. It's probably a
Definitely.
great feeling, because I
Yeah.
know we all get stuck in our heads in different ways. But yeah,
Mm. Yeah. I kind of like people must be so different trying to find a way a way of peace in their life. Like for some people, it could be literally walking, jogging, walking their dogs, talking to their dogs, and for I can only imagine for people back then it was art, fishing, cooking, berry picking. You know, like the way of our people.
yeah,
That must have been like they must have found peace.
it's
That's what I'm
just a
trying to
lot,
say.
I think, easier, and you kind of didn't have much expectations of what
Right.
you were gonna do. It just depended on the time of year,
Mm-hmm.
rather than trying to compare yourself with people on social media, or how
Oh,
you
definitely.
portray your life to be, or people to see you on social media. And it
Yeah.
was more, just like when we're growing up, running
Yeah.
around and enjoying the outdoors, even when I was young. So, uh, yeah, man, must have been not, I don't want to say a more simple life, but a lot less to worry about. And
Yeah.
you didn't really worry about your image. It was more about how to survive. So, yeah, I guess.
Definitely. I remember being a kid running around, no care in the world, just going to my friend's house, going to my cousin's house, knocking on the door.
Life on the res, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. So crazy. It was such a culture shock actually when I moved to Vancouver with Kira. Like, I don't know.
People just don't have time. It's always
Yeah.
you're always there's always something to do, somewhere to travel, and um, you people just they're all moving so fast in their own life, and
Mm-hmm.
um, sometimes it's almost a reminder of you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
People we're so quick to think that of our image, but people are just moving too fast to even really care. It's only like the people that you're linking up with that get to like see
Chill
what
and
you're
good
doing
time.
and whatever. But
Yeah.
either way, man, it is such a different life in two different worlds in general. But
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, like I said, you just to adapt to where you are, and life could be good or bad or however you're mentally
Yeah.
feeling. But it's up to you,
Life's what you make it.
however you want to make it.
Literally, life's what you make it. Hannah Montana said that. Yeah. Do you think you would have been able, or how was it adapting to the city when you moved from Bella Bella to, was it North Van?
Yeah,
Was it a big
it was a
change?
big change.
Yeah.
Going from a town of like 1,200 to a school of 1,500 kids
Oh my god.
was kind of crazy, but
That
I
sounds
don't know, man.
nuts.
I I had a good solid group of friends in North Van, and they kind of helped my transition nicely. And
Nice.
being able to play ball, which I was really into back then,
Yeah.
kind of was what drove me to go there and just hoop it up with my homies. And
Heck
um,
yeah.
it was just such a great way to make lifelong connections. And yeah, so I'll never forget going to Kirsten Graham and meeting all the people I've met. And
Nice.
yeah, such a great opportunity in my life. Maybe that some people don't get. So I'm grateful for my parents supporting me on that kind
Mm-hmm.
of journey that I went on for those 2 years.
Shout out mom and dad.
Yeah,
That's cool, man. I don't think I would have been able to survive with that many kids in school. Oops. I think like, oh yeah, the schooling with all those kids, all those other people in the school.
yeah,
Like,
just yeah, a great opportunity and such a different lifestyle. But
definitely.
I was hooping 7 days a week and
Oh,
just playing ball. So I would, go to school 5 days a week, and then I'd have a basketball camp on Saturday and Sunday. So
right.
it was a good busy time of my life, but I experienced a lot, and yeah, it was cool, man.
Definitely. I Yeah, ball was literally life back then. I feel like everybody goes through that phase growing up in high school or, you know,
Yeah,
college.
whatever you know you're driven to do, kind of at that age,
Yeah,
whether that's playing an instrument or playing ball or soccer or football. The opportunities are obviously a lot more in the city, but
definitely.
on the res, we kind of just grew up hooping and um, going to a few tournaments a year. But
Oh yeah, I
um,
totally forgot about like
it's
that
great
era.
to get out of town and realize there's so much more opportunity
Mm-hmm.
than what's around. Although obviously, it was a blessing growing up here and kind of um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, learning what I know today.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, like for me, I feel like basketball was such a good getaway from everything, or like a good way to get off the rock. And growing up on a res, you just itch to get off the rock, but no reason to, right? But basketball was such a great opportunity to experience that other other places and or Vancouver Island for us, but other places in Vancouver Island just how they play ball, how they were so disciplined to be on the court and beat us or we beat them, but there's very few times we were beaten. Just saying, in high school, but
Yeah,
yeah,
just a lot more structure, I think,
yeah,
in like high
definitely.
school or whatever, and you know, res ball is kind of like run and gun, and they
Oh
have
yeah,
that grit and pride and you're representing, right? And you
Yeah,
put that name on your chest, and you're running with your bros that you grew up with. So,
definitely.
uh, I, yeah, that's a good part of sports is kind of running with your bros and
Mm-hmm.
throwing down, just trying to get that dub, and losing together and growing as teammates and friends, and you can learn a lot from just being a part of a team and
Creating
um,
connections.
creating connection. Yeah, man.
Okay. I remember when I first moved here, I loved watching you, Uncle Jay, play. Such a good battle between you two all the time.
Yeah, I grew up just hooping against him in the hall, and
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of where I learned how to play D, and he's just such a good shooter. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, good history, and used to just battle it out. My
Heck
dad
yeah.
would take us to the hall between 5 and 6, and just be me and my brother putting up shots, ending it with a game of 1-on-1. He'd never
Heck
take it easy,
yeah.
So there's a lot of emotions, and
Mm.
but never forget the day I first beat him, and but it was very few and far between when I would get a dub against him because he's just a really good scorer, and
Heck yeah.
but that's all good. I'm grateful for all those times and memories with him, and we
Heck
grew
yeah.
we grew a lot together.
And I love watching you guys play ball. I feel the same way with my dad too. Still haven't beaten my dad in a one-on-one, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
26 years old, man. He's a scorer. He's just like Uncle Jay. It's different. Different. But the dedication is there, man. The love for the game is there.
Yeah, just that mentality too. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but can't stand down, and you just got to keep on giving her, I guess.
Definitely.
One day that time will come.
Yeah. I think it will, yeah. I don't know, maybe my dad will give up that shot and give me the dub. It's a little up there in age, Dad. But yeah. Anyways, I really love watching you guys play. The game that you guys play is two different styles of ball.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But the love is the same. It's there. And oh man. You still got that love for the game?
Yeah, man. I mean, like anytime I get to
Yeah.
play, I'm not always in basketball shape. Even when I'm running a lot, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a whole different game. But when I get to commit myself to training,
Yeah.
I go all in and hit the hall as much as I can, put up shots, and when I'm actually in shape or coaching, and then it's a whole nother story and another part of life that just truly makes me happy. So
Definitely.
in the future, I hope to be able to coach or play more ball and represent with the Celtic Nation because it's such a good part of life for me that kind of frees my mind and I
Mm-hmm.
truly enjoy. So yeah, I definitely love the game of basketball a
That's
lot,
good.
watching it, and um, recently I had the opportunity to coach the junior boys for maybe like 5 weeks before the junior all-native,
Nice.
and you learn a lot from working with youth about yourself and about them, and the
Yeah.
connection you build is just um, unbelievable. And yeah, so basketball is a huge part of my life, and I think always will be, hopefully. And I definitely want to lace up a little more if I can find the time.
Yeah, time, man. Time is such a killer. I know I get that. I feel like that too sometimes. I miss playing it so much. I think, well, I do play it, but competitively, it's just a little hard to get back into competitively. It's just a lot of things went wrong. And yeah, I actually run a program with men's wellness every Saturday. I have the gym from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Okay,
every Saturday if you want to come lace up.
nice. Yeah,
There's
definitely
a
have to.
handful of guys that come and you do a little bit of shoot around, a little bit of workout, and we
Nice,
end our day with King Court.
nice.
Get a little bit of competitiveness back into the gym before everybody goes home.
Beauty. Yeah, I'll have to swing by and definitely check that
Definitely,
out.
yeah, it's fun. But yeah, coming up to an hour now.
Okay.
Feeling you think we should end it there?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
this is up to you, man. Wherever
yeah.
you want this conversation to to end is just I'm just grateful to be a part of your journey and
Heck
having a
yeah.
conversation about who I am, what I'm doing, what my path is, and just for anyone who's interested to kind of listen to the few things I know about the history of our people or
Mm-hmm.
whatever questions you wanted to ask me, and I just answered those to the best of my ability.
Definitely.
If you want to have another conversation in the
Oh,
future, I'll definitely
definitely.
be, diving deeper into the history and trying to learn a bit more. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I'm just thankful and grateful to be here.
Heck yeah. This isn't our last episode together, just so you know.
All right,
I'll be contacting you again.
sounds good.
Yeah, I got some good ideas. I think this one I just wanted to get a little bit of a pick your brain a bit of who you are, what your ideas are, what you're working on, how you're working on it, and a little bit of your past,
Yeah,
goals and stuff. And
cool. Well,
I think,
I hope like whatever you asked, I was able to answer
oh,
clearly, and
yeah, perfect.
so
It was,
the listeners can kind of understand. And yeah, it's been a great conversation, and
hmm
yeah.
I think everybody knows who you are, Charlie Brown. Yeah. But for
I,
those people that don't know, this is just a little bit of Charlie. Just a little bit. We'll get more out of him, more out of you down the road sometime.
we're
But yeah, thank you for coming. Appreciate it big time
Lost
for
Ask
being
again.
the first special guest on the Echoed Histories. Super excited, super pumped to get this out and for everybody to listen and tune in and just get a better understanding of who you are.
Yeah,
Mhm. Living on the rock again, new dad.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
All
super
of that
excited.
simple things that kind of keep me going in this life.
Definitely. Yeah.
Um, yeah, man.
Now people know.
People got a little peek into how I'm living and who I am. So
Hmm.
hopefully, they'll tune in next time.
Yeah. So I got a question. You selling those hoodies or what?
Yeah, I will be selling them at the 5 year celebration here, and
Okay.
if there's any left, I'll sell them online. But
Okay.
yeah, just good to kind of get my art out there in different ways. And like I said, designing clothing is one of my passions. So
Okay.
it's good
Well,
to.
it's a beautiful hoodie, man. It's such a clean design.
Yeah, I'll send you a link of the mock-up maybe, and you could share that, or if you want, no pressure. But
Yeah, yeah. Of course I
yeah,
will. It's such a sick design. And see if Kira can snag me a piece as soon as she gets up there. I'll be
gotcha.
working during the 5 year celebration, but
Yeah,
yeah, super excited for that too.
yeah, man. It's gonna be good for everyone to show up in town and witness some history.
Definitely, like big house celebration. 5 years. Can't believe
Yeah,
it's been 5 years.
yeah, man. Time flies.
So fast. But yeah, I'll cut it there. I just want to thank y'all for tuning in and, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're listening on, whether it's Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast. I want to thank you, bottom of my heart. And this is just the start. This is episode 1. Thank you for tuning in, Mr. Charlie
Cheers.
Brown, Glathba, right?
Yeah,
Pronouncing it right?
damn right.
Alrighty. Well, thank y'all for tuning in one more time. And don't forget to let the echoes guide you wherever you go. Nice.